is the biggest party of the summer. Bring out your bathing suits, crack open those ice cold brewskis.
Get the sunscreen, man.
Get that sunscreen because Brooklyn is popping. Chair Shot Reality here on WrestleZone.com. I am joined by the man, Ronell Hunt, the Rev.
Blessings.
He has
Got
the screen section here.
Man.
Has
always,
the sign. They always have him
always
here. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But we have SummerSlam at the Barclays Center Sunday nights, only on the WWE Network. A stacked card, 4 hours of action and entertainment. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about predictions. Sasha Banks defending her WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte. Who you got?
I honestly think Sasha really needs this. The reason why she needs this is because it's too early to have her drop the title. When we first did the brand split, WWE thought enough of Sasha to give it to her right with the very first brand split. We're talking about Monday Night Raw in Pittsburgh. The very first, they give it to her. You have Charlotte doing all this talking about Sasha being the one-night stand, and that's how it's going on. They go back and forth. Hey, Ric Flair, you're the son of, you're the daughter of one. The thing is, Sasha needs to keep it. She has proven herself that she is main event material with NXT. Honestly, she still has a long way to go, as she has for WWE.
I think Sasha wins and Sasha keeps the title as well for a lot of the same reasons as you. Charlotte's at a point right now where she's had it for such a long time. She can lose clean once or twice, and that's not going to hurt how she's been booked.
Yeah.
Because she has the pedigree. She has the look of a women's wrestler, 5'10", probably about 150 pounds. She looks like a volleyball player.
When I seen her in person,
we know
dude,
Josh Eisenberg likes that.
I was a little intimidated when I seen her in person.
Were you?
I know
How
LeBar
big are
probably
those
sold
arms?
his pants
How
a couple
big are those
times.
arms?
They're almost bigger than the rest, man.
I'm not hating that, so we're both going on Charlotte. What we got next?
All right, let me ask you this, man. We have Miz, Apollo Crews, the IC Championship. We're going Intercontinental. Wait, what's your pick on that?
I have to go with The Miz retaining the championship. If SmackDown really wants to make a big impact, they would do something in another match, not necessarily this match. It seems to me that for whatever reason, they're giving The Miz and Maurice so much time in main storylines, but they're not developing their own storyline with Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
You're getting backstage segments or videos posted on Facebook about a letter from Apollo's mom saying that you can kick his Hollywood butt. Doesn't make sense to me, doesn't connect. I do think he either cheats to win or a disqualification, keeping the championship on The Miz because he is probably the most hated guy on SmackDown as a heel.
Honestly, I have to disagree with you now. Mind you,
okay.
I did balance both ways on this. The reason why I'm disagreeing is we're talking about the new era with better way. I mean, how many times has Miz had the opportunity? If not held, he's a multi-time champion. Number one, this is what needs to happen. Apollo needs to win. He's athletic. He has the build of a heavyweight, but he has the quickness of a cruiserweight. You don't get that often. You don't come across it often. Okay. This match is going to show Apollo, he's naturally athletic. I think he's going to outshine The Miz. We look at a psychology part of this as a wrestler. I'm looking at, hey, make sure it makes sense. Give the title to Apollo. Let's continue with this new era. They need something to look about since they're right now battling with Raw right now. This is what SmackDown needs.
Okay, speaking of the new era, Gallows and Anderson. My boys going for the WWE Tag Team Championships against The New Day. And The New Day won the championships at SummerSlam 1 year ago. Do they drop it in that same building that they gained it?
You know what? I'm honestly, sadly, I'm looking for them to drop it. Here's number one. You're looking at the fact that you're dealing with Anderson and Gallows. They have been to New Japan. They have been here. They've been everywhere. They have proven themselves. Many tag team titles have come between them. The fact is with this, it's almost like, the New Day say, oh, we got your number. I honestly think that they have the number. Unfortunately, time might have came up. By the time they get to SummerSlam, they're going to be over 365-plus days, so I'm looking for them to drop the title.
It's time for a change. You look at the tag teams that the New Day has faced over the past year, some good, some not so good. Storylines have been developed. I like the very extremely dry humor of Dr. Anderson and Dr. Gallows. I think it's just different. It's not too forced.
The ball's in your court. Remember that.
Yeah, it's not too forced. It's very pun-worthy. And I like the fact that WWE is giving an opportunity to these guys because we know that they have the characteristics and the personality.
Yeah.
I think it's time for a change. I'm going to say I have a 52% chance. I'm going to slightly say that Gallows and Anderson win the tag team championships, but I wouldn't be surprised if Big E makes his return somehow, and he is a key point in potentially New Day retaining, but I'm going to take Gallows and Anderson.
You know what? Hanging on tag teams right now, we're going to flip the card right now. Enzo and Cass versus, what is it, Jericho?
Jericho?
What is your predictions on it, man?
How fun has been Jericho for though? I mean, these guys together, Jericho has had some really strange tag teams. Okay, Jericho, Miz Show, that's not Jericho, but random tag teams put together for no reason whatsoever. I think Enzo and Cass pick up the big win.
Yeah.
And I think it's because Kevin Owens, he is a guy that should be built on Kevin Owens, number 1, 2, and 3.
Exactly.
No partner needed for him. He's going to turn his back on Jericho. I do think that Enzo and Cass pick up the win in Brooklyn. They need this. Like you were saying, the new era needs victories.
Yeah.
The new era needs to beat these two guys because, quite frankly, it doesn't really help Jericho or Kevin Owens if they win. It makes Enzo and Cass look like the next in line for tag team championships. And you think whenever you have the New Day who's still filtering around, a potential new champion in heels, new blood between Gallows and Anderson and Enzo and Cass, that could be great tag team storylines.
You know what? I'm thinking it's going to be a fresh start. Here's what I'm saying. I'm actually going to agree with you on this because Enzo and Cass do need it. Right now, I love the gimmick. I love the whole thing. My name is Enzo Amore. I'm a certified G
Fantastic.
star. But at the same time, as much energy as they have, it is very easy, and you're running on the edge of it falling flat if you don't give them something worth them sticking to. This could be something to where, hey, you can hype it up as much as you can, but if there's not eventually gold in it, they could run dry with it.
I can understand that. Something that they're running dry with now is on the women's. I keep saying Divas side. On the women's side on SmackDown, so many young new talent. With the suspension of Eva Marie,
yes.
You have a 6 women's tag team match
or
on
5, we never know.
SummerSlam. Quickly, what happens here? Or maybe do you know somebody that you think could fill that spot?
You know what? I'm looking for, Carmella, Becky Lynch, and who else is in there?
Carmella, Becky Lynch, and who's the third face? Naomi, actually. Glow, the glow of Naomi.
The glow.
Yeah.
I want to call her the female Jeff Hardy a little
versus
bit.
Alexa Bliss, Natalia. Yeah, it does.
Kind of reminds you. I'm honestly looking for the faces to win this. Number one, here's what's going to happen. It's hard to say right now with the draft, but if it could work both ways. If it's 2 against 3 with the baby faces overhand, clearly you know the baby faces are going to win. I'm still saying a lot of people is going to beat me up on internet with this. That it's all a work, man. It's all a work. Eva Marie, she's going to come back. I'm going to say they're going to be like, Rev, you don't know what you're talking about. It's a work. She's going to come back. Hey,
the faces are going to win this, and I think Carmella picks up the victory. A best of 7, match 1.
Yeah.
Sheamus versus Cesaro. Quickly, who you got there?
Mick Foley said exactly this. This is a battle of egos, pretty much. It's a battle of egos. Cesaro, he's going to take the first one. Sheamus, he's a guy that's aggressive. The thing is, he needs to be ticked off. What better way to tick him off than by having Cesaro get a clean one? Hey, small package, schoolboy, something's going to happen clean. It's going to pump up. Sheamus, Cesaro is taking it.
WrestleRumble.com. You're going to tell me and then listen to my predictions because I came in 3rd place once. I was a bronze medal at the Olympics of WrestleRumble.com, so I'm going to go with Sheamus. Sheamus is going to win number 1, and number 2 is going to have Cesaro as a Superman-like feel come back and pick up 2 or 3 quick wins. You're going to get 7 matches, best of 7. I think in the next couple of weeks, next month, will culminate potentially with one of those guys getting an opportunity at a big championship.
I might beat you in rankings.
You might be 3rd. I might be 4th. Yeah. You never know. You never know. Now we talk about Brock Lesnar. I can't do it as good as the guy we're going to toss it to, but Brock Lesnar versus the Viper, Randy Orton, one of the big 3 matches at SummerSlam. We're going to toss it to Justin LeBar. Justin, who do you got?
All right, Josh, here's how you do it. Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. I think if you're sitting in the room, you're sitting in the writer's room, I think all the writers would love to have Randy Orton get the victory here. He's back after all the injuries. It kind of feels a rejuvenated Randy Orton. He's got more energy back. It's like he's a kid again, enjoying what he's doing. I think everybody around the room goes, Randy Orton, Randy Orton, Randy Orton. And if that's the case, it gets to Vince McMahon, the ultimate decision maker, and he goes, no, Brock's winning it. Whether it be because of WWE 2K17 stuff, whether it be because the next night on Raw they're going to make the WrestleMania match of Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, or just because Brock Lesnar is the golden goose, he's the guy that's the greatest athlete in combat sports in America. Whatever the reason is, Brock Lesnar is going to be the one that walks out. I don't see any which way, but that's okay because, quite frankly, it's a rub for Randy Orton just being in this marquee match. Randy Orton is not going to be harmed if he loses to Brock Lesnar. The Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So once that happens, if you put up a fighting chance, which is that's what this is going to be. It's not going to be a squash match. You put up a fighting chance, you still can come out of it having higher stock than when you went in on it. But bottom line, WrestleRumble.com. You want it. You want the reality check. Don't get all gooey-eyed at Randy Orton's back, and he's got the tattoos, and he's out of nowhere. He slithers like a snake. He's the Viperville. Viperville's not going to happen. Stop trying to make happen. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Viperville's not happening. It's Brock Lesnar. Back to you.
I don't know about Brock Lesnar standing victorious. I think Lesnar should win, but I think WWE will give the victory to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Randy Orton coming back, if he loses immediately to Brock Lesnar, what does that do for Randy Orton? Well, yeah, he's been a 12-time champion, but he's been very complacent over the past couple of years. People have seen the same Randy Orton. This is a new Randy Orton and a new opportunity. If we're not going to see Brock Lesnar every single week, you need to establish next in line for a world championship match. And I think you see two guys, AJ Styles or Randy Orton. And I think those are two guys that you pinpoint and say, those are the guys next up for the world championship. Who you got?
I say phenomenally right now, Randy Orton. Randy Orton's taking it. Here's number one. You're looking at the underdog. How many times has Randy Orton been an underdog? I know I said this last week, but the fact is exactly this. Brock Lesnar, when you look at it, he's underestimating them. We can go in football, we can go in basketball. When you underestimate your opponent, you're bound to lose because you're going to take it easy. Meanwhile, your opponent's trying to take your head off. We've seen them ping-pong back and forth. Randy Orton's going to get the upper hand. Follow it all the way back to OVW. Brock Lesnar debuted, I want to say 2002, went through development. Randy Orton came in 2002. Brock Lesnar came in a year into WWE ahead of him. Brock Lesnar, the youngest undisputed champion. Randy Orton, the youngest world heavyweight champion. Randy Orton's been getting the upper hand so far. I'm looking for him to get it. And they both have history. They both won both titles at SummerSlam.
Look at you.
Come
You're a
on,
historian.
man. I did my homework, man.
He's either a historian, he's been watching all the great video packages. I'm not sure. Maybe
on
both.
WWE Network.
Maybe both. But coming up, part 3, we are not finished with SummerSlam predictions. AJ and John, Dean and Dolph. And who will be the first ever WWE Universal Champion? Stick around. Chair Shot Reality all weekend long on WrestleZone.com.